was going to say right here.
Just in a moment. Yeah,
Okay.
we are about to. Okay, grab it quick.
Captains, ladies, captains. Really?
Want me to do? I'll do middle.
You get that sign right now. You just made that sign. That's what's happening. World time 16-16. And that will keep the lead by that much.
Championship Sunday well underway here at AVP Huntington Beach Heritage Series. Women's semifinals here on court number 1. Kloth Nuss taking on Flint and Scoles. I'm Victoria Dennis alongside Corinne Quiggle. It has been so much fun all weekend long, all coming to the finals match happening. But who will get that seat at the table? Will it be the 5th seed, Flint and Scoles, or the number 1 seed looking for their 7th AVP title, Kloth and Nuss? Corinne, what are we looking for here in this women's semifinals?
Yeah, both of these teams know each other really well from playing on the AVP and on the international tour. Kloth and Nuss having some great success. I mean, 6 wins on the AVP already, and they are competing for the US in Paris this summer. Julia and Betsy, also a fantastic team. Starting off a little shaky on that first serve. I mean, Kloth and Nuss definitely are going to be strong servers in this game, but Julia and Betsy know how to be clutch when they need to, as we saw in their last game against Haley Howard and Kylie DeBerg.
As they won that quarterfinals in 3 after being down drastically, but were able to just fire away in the trenches like Scoles does right there to find themselves in the semifinals of this first stop of the AVP 2024 calendar year. Scoles running behind. On the pin, painting the high line. Taryn Kloth standing at 6'4" out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. You heard me right. She's from South Dakota, and she currently is number 2 in the world in beach volleyball.
Yeah, incredible. Just like the Swedish and Norwegians are as well. They've had some great success on the men's team, being number 1 and 2 in the world on that side. It's not always from where you expect it, you know?
As the game continues to grow, we love to see that. Over on 2. Picked up in transition, Flint running behind. Nuss is there. And then chips it up and over. Nuss saying, you think you can let that go on me on 1 over? I do not think so. And that is a 5-0 quick start for Kloth and Nuss.
Yeah, starting out aiming at Julia Scoles, who's had a little bit of a different preseason this year, coming back from 2 knee surgery procedures. I don't exactly know if they were technically surgical, but definitely coming back into the court. So she just got into the sand not so many weeks ago, three weeks ago, I think. It was crazy. And Betsy too, having an interesting preseason, not having the time to practice with her partner, but they're attacking her on this wind side, and she's definitely having some trouble. Kloth and Nuss controlling the net really well, and Nuss picking up everything in the backcourt. Doing a good job and keeping Betsy out of the game so far. We'll see if they keep with that. I think that's their game plan.
These athletes battling out for a little piece of that prize money. $150,000 is ready to divvy up amongst the best of the best here at AVP Huntington Beach. The first of 3 Heritage Series.
Oh, and I think we're actually having a medical timeout right now for Julia Scoles. She has somebody working on them right now. Both referees coming down to the sideline. I saw Julia earlier talking to the medical provider here.
Looks like it might be a strained ab. Don't want to make assumptions, but from what I can see here, our great medical staff making sure our athletes are able to compete at their healthiest capabilities.
You know, and that's part of coming back from injuries that you don't expect. I need to take notes from this because I will be coming back from my hip surgery next year as well. But it's hard to keep the rest of your body in the shape that it's used to, in the conditions that it's used to. It's not used to playing 3 days of volleyball. You know, you've given it so much time to rest and recover as she needed to with her knees. But now little other parts of her body are probably getting used to the fatigue that she has coming into this tournament.
The endurance that beach volleyball athletes have to have is second to none in any other sport. I think it's up there with one of the highest sports that you have to have endurance. Sure, you have your cross-country runners, long-distance swimmers, but this is a little bit different. It's fast twitch muscles, but it's extended over multi-day tournaments, and you're not just playing one battle in game and done. You're playing 2, 3, possibly 4 matches in a day over a 3-day period. So as you were saying, Corinne, yeah, it's a long, grueling battle, and these are road dog warriors. They're on the road the majority of the year, traveling around the great United States here, representing Team USA abroad. We have a couple other national team representatives here. Team Canada has competed here in Huntington this weekend. We have Brazil in the house as well.
We also have had Serbia on the men's side and France with Marine on the women's side. So a lot of great international players coming to compete here this weekend, and just at the highest level. And both of these teams are no stranger to the highest level, as we know. Taryn and Kristen representing at the US Olympics, or at the Olympics representing USA. Incredible feat there. And then Betsy and Julia. Julia just getting a piece of tape on her ab, trying to get her back feeling good and ready to play.
Athletes taking the court once again here as set number 1 is just starting off. Nuss at the service line. Nuss standing at a tall 5'6". Plays like she's 6'5" with that shot selection and reach, but Nuss, age 26, out of New Orleans, goes up and over the block for a first ball side out. Flint and Scoles staying fiery and having some fun with it.
I think maybe with Julia feeling a little pain in her ab, she might not be wanting to swing, so Betsy might be looking to take more on twos than she usually does in this game.
Bringing us to our first side switch. If this is your first volleyball game, well, welcome. It's best 2 out of 3 here, those first 2 sets to 21. That third one we played to 15. And Corinne, as you know, competing at Pepperdine and on the AVP and for Team USA, we switch on 7s. Can you tell us why?
Yeah, well, actually, the wind has switched a little bit right now, but we switch for the elements. There's sun, there's wind, there's everything else, sometimes hecklers. But the wind coming straight across the ocean. So now Taryn and Betsy, technically, on that half of the court being on the bad side. Yeah, wind coming straight across, straight off the ocean.
That wind starting to pick up here, as it usually does in the afternoons of the Southern California beaches. Wind now at 9 miles an hour. So the quote unquote good side right now is Team Kloth Nuss. On the south side, on the north side, it's Flint and Scoles.
Julia taking that on too, but looking a little bit more delicate with it.
Firing away for a first ball side out is Nuss. If you're a junior athlete, pay attention to Nuss in her, I mean, everything. Ball control and defense, how she gets her feet to the ball every single time. Over on two, Nuss is there. In transition, goes for the coffin corner, and Nuss is gonna find it.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. Oh, and they're calling the game right now. Unfortunately, Julia's not feeling probably fit to play. It is hard. I mean, this is day 3 of this tournament, you know, and they have battled all the way through.
A battle indeed for Julia Scoles and Betsy Flint. A good tournament that they have had here this opening stop of the season. We know Scoles has come off of a pretty serious injury, but she battled and found herself in the semis, a responsible athlete, sadly taking herself out of it.
Kristen and Taryn happy about it, although Julia is apologizing, saying sorry for calling the game, but she has to do what's best for her health, and that sends Kristen and Taryn into the final match of this AVP Huntington Heritage Series.
It sure does. And Scoles, you mentioned, she has a wedding to get to, and it's her own today.
Yes, it does. And you know, you can tell she was definitely feeling a little gingerly, and it looked like she was starting to hurt. I actually saw her talking earlier in the game about her ab to a medical provider. So it is good that she is taking care of her health and getting to that wedding, getting to her own wedding.
Well, punching their ticket yet again and looking for a 7th trophy to lift up on the AVP tour is Kloth and Nuss moving on to the finals. Who will they play? Hughes and Chain or Brandy and Melissa battling out on Stadium Court as we speak. Thank you for tuning in all weekend long on court number 1. I'm Victoria Dennis alongside Corinne Quiggle. Jump on over to Stadium. We'll catch you over there.